morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Monday, the 11th of December. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for joining us this morning. Coming up, we're going to learn about disaster relief efforts happening in Clarksville. Tornadoes ripped through our state on Saturday evening. Clarksville hit by what the National Weather Service and their preliminary reports are calling an EF3 tornado. But coming up, we are going to hear about two stories, one of survival, the other of capturing the tornado as it was coming toward where he was at that time. After that, we'll hear from the pastor here at Mosaic Church about how they are working with the community, how they have opened up. They're collecting essential items for those in the Clarksville community, food as well, and of course, giving out a number of food boxes as well as other items that have been donated by restaurants and businesses and community members in the past 36 to 48 hours. After that, we are going to learn about Engage Your Destiny, a nonprofit working with soldiers from Fort Campbell. We'll hear all about that. But first, let's get a check of our headlines and stories that you'll find at MainStreetMediaTN.com. Here's a glimpse of the damage following the twister Saturday afternoon in Sumner County. The path of destruction spread through Hendersonville and several neighborhoods in Gallatin. The city of Gallatin put out that damaged areas are being looked at and assessed. Until assessments are complete, there will be no organized volunteer dispatch. Get more information by going to our website and finding Gallatin News. And power is still out through much of Hendersonville, which includes traffic lights. Main Street has reopened, and in other areas, officers will be helping out to direct traffic. A storm shelter for residents was set up at Beach High School on Long Hollow Pike. This is the second time storms have hit the Sumner County area this year. 3 people died as a result of the tornado that hit Montgomery County Saturday, but authorities have yet to release their names at this time. Fort Campbell authorities report about 100 soldiers have been displaced. Clarksville Mayor Joe Pitts referred to the aftermath that he witnessed in touring hardest hit areas Sunday as awful devastation. People who wish to volunteer or who need help have been urged to call 931-245-2988 or check into one of the 3 American Red Cross shelters provided in Middle Tennessee. You'll find the locations and additional information at MainStreetMediaTN.com. Click on Main Street Clarksville. Let's get a check of the forecast with the team at Tennessee Valley Weather.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Good morning, folks. Ben Looney here with you in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a check on your forecast as we head through today. First and foremost, our thoughts and prayers with those affected by the deadly storms over the weekend through northwest Middle Tennessee, Music City, and points just northeast of Nashville. As we head through today, we are going to enjoy plenty of sunshine, but temperatures, man, they're going to leave a lot to be desired. We're going to struggle to see the 50s in most spots today. Therefore, I think the 40s will be pretty much it in most spots across the middle portion of Tennessee this afternoon. Mostly clear skies overnight will allow temps to nosedive again. We'll be looking for lows falling all the way back down to the 20s here by tomorrow morning, and then pretty much copy and paste today to tomorrow. We're going to see plenty of sunshine here for your Tuesday. Look for highs tomorrow to be a smidge warmer though, back in the mid 50s in the afternoon, and then we're going to be a partly cloudy forecast for you for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I think clouds will start to increase Saturday night, and that could lead into a few sprinkles then, but pretty much at this point, I think our next greater chance for rain will show up for part of the area on Sunday. That's a check on your forecast on Main Street for this Monday. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'll leave you with a final look at that 7-day forecast. Hope you have a blessed Monday. We'll talk to you soon.
Hearts are still hurting for the lives that were lost over the weekend from the tornadoes that ripped through Tennessee. Looking at Montgomery County Emergency Management Agency at a report that they put out. So here's the damage done in the Clarksville, Montgomery County area. 65 structures received minor damage, 339 structures moderate damage, and then 271 structures with major damage, 91 destroyed. Now we are going to hear two stories. One from Ben Callender, a gentleman who saw the tornado heading right for where he was standing. Another one, story coming from Angel Toro, who found herself in her travel trailer with her dogs and her cats when that tornado hit. She was tossed, and this morning We get to hear their accounts of what they experienced Saturday evening.
When we first knew something was wrong, we were standing on the back side of the house. Then when we walked around to the front of the house, the tornado dropped in just behind those trees right there on the back side of this house. And as soon as we were able to see it drop down, we started to notice that the trees started flying up, and it was really quick. We could see the tornado drop down a few hundred yards off from us, and then within 12 seconds it was on top of us. Then we decided we were right in its path, so we took off and we went and barricaded ourselves in the house. And then we got out as soon as it was all over with, and started to assess the area, checked on the neighbors. Some of these kids over here got cuts and scrapes, but for the most part everybody right here immediately was all okay. We did first aid up the street with some of the neighbors. We had massive damage, but not near as bad as the road behind us, where we can see visibly from where we're standing that 2 houses at least were leveled completely. Very terrifying, but we were able to get out this morning, got a hold of Doug's junk removal, and he was able to get us out some dumpsters so we can get this debris and so on cleaned up from the neighborhood. Kind of everybody pitched in this morning. We all kind of went through and gathered up everything throughout the area and kind of brought it all to one place right here beside the house, and we've been working to get it out of here.
I got the alert on my phone, and it was 1:43, so I figured we had a few minutes to get it together. I had 2 dogs and 4 cats in there, so I was trying to think fast.
And you say in there where?
In the camper, right over here. I have started this journey that I wanted to be traveling across country, so I'm here with family and sorting out, learning how to live in my camper. So I was in there with my 2 dogs and my 4 cats. I have a standard poodle and a German Shepherd mix, and we were all sitting on the bed right here just inside this window, and the window was open, so I went to shut the window, and I saw the wind coming sideways, and I saw the tree bending over coming sideways, and as soon as I shut the window, I just had the feeling that something was going to happen. It was going to happen. I didn't know what actually happened was going to happen, but so I just, from the bed, dropped onto one knee and held my poodle's paw and started praying to God, and next thing I knew, we were spinning in circles, and I had my dog's paw, and we all spun in circles, and I closed my eyes, and when I opened my eyes, we were all sitting on the bed, perfectly safe. And we were trapped in there for a little while. My stepdad and my neighbor came to the window within a few minutes, and I was in shock. And they got the power tools out and took the window out, and I didn't have any shoes on, so I called my mom from in the camper to send out some shoes, and we all walked out safe and sound.
I can't thank Ben and Angel enough for talking with me and sharing those stories with us this morning. I do want you to stick with us to the end of the show, because at the end of Mornings on Main Street today, I get to share with you the community support, the outpouring of love that those who need it here in Montgomery County right now are receiving. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Beginning January 1, Delta Dental of Tennessee is introducing enhanced benefits for persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
It'll include extra cleaning times for people with special needs, extra time for exams. More importantly, we will create a training program that any dentist office in the state can go online and pick that up.
At Delta Dental, we believe that the quality of oral health care should be accessible and inclusive for all.
He shoots, and he scores!
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Witness more than 1,000 handcrafted Chinese lanterns featuring brand new designs, including towering mythical beasts, a life-sized Santa's workshop, and a 100-foot-long dragon. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
This morning, I want to talk about the disaster relief efforts happening here in Clarksville. With me at one of the disaster relief locations here at Mosaic Church, we have Pastor Anthony Daley. First off, thank you so much for your time.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
You know, so many families impacted by the tornado that ripped through our communities on Saturday. What are you seeing? What have you seen over the weekend?
So, in spite of the devastation, the loss, the inconveniences, the wonderful spirit of this community just rises to the occasion. And so we're hearing some amazing stories from someone that was in the storm, who survived it, who was, saving a dog, children, just believing that the hand of God was working in so many marvelous ways. It's been one of the bright spots getting to hear the stories and the testimonies. And I know everybody doesn't have that,
right?
But in the midst of it, we're still grateful that our community is rising to the occasion of those in need.
And it is incredible to see, the National Weather Service has put out, it was an EF3 tornado. That's preliminary reports coming out now. And again, such beautiful stories of survival. There has been some heartache. We did lose 3 individuals in our Clarksville community, 2 adults and 1 child. But something else we've seen, the outpouring of love and support. Again, like I mentioned, Mosaic Church is one of those locations for disaster relief. You'll see at the end of the show, you have YAPAC Outreach. You have a number of pet locations receiving pet items. You have other nonprofits, the Red Cross, Crisis 211. What sort of donations are you seeing coming in, and where are they coming from?
Yeah, so organizations such as YAPAC, Convoy of Hope, the local donations as well has been nearly equal to a tractor trailer load, just people coming by wanting to bring things to help. We have containers, we have generators, hand tools equipment, yard cleaning equipment, we have all kinds of hygiene product, diapers, food, blankets, pillows, anything you need to, just be comfortable in life and help take care of yourself. We have that in abundance.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Will you continue to take donations?
We are taking donations of essentials for sure, not clothing items and such. Any new clothing items, YAPAC has developed a receiving center for that, but anything that helps with hygiene or personal care or cleanup, food, we're definitely taking those.
Okay, fantastic. And what about any sort of I don't want to say living or sleeping facilities? Do you guys have that? Are you offering that, or do you know where people can go?
We did in the initial night on Saturday night. We opened the facility and we were able to host some families that were displaced by the storm. But since then, I'm trying to think, at Northeast High School, the Red Cross has really just gone above and beyond, and they have a excellent facility set up for anybody that needs to shelter in place overnight.
Now, as far as the essential items, can families come here to you?
Yes, they can. We're going to open up at 8 a.m. in the morning and to 6 o'clock tomorrow evening and make all this available. I mean, we have a lot of resources for our community, and we hope that they'll take advantage of it for those that are in need.
Will this be throughout the week?
It will.
Okay, so again, 8 a.m. in the morning, go ahead and be here at Mosaic Church. What made you want to do this and open your doors? You're one of a number of beautiful churches that we have. Why did you take this on?
Yeah, so our community obviously is filled with some wonderful churches, and we're just a small part of that. But, we had a building full of people that were joining the church on Saturday that had shelter in place during the storm. The storm was literally 200 yards in front of our church. So we just had a front row seat to that. We felt the impact of that storm. And again, we're located. We have a great facility to host, and so it was just a great opportunity for us to love our community effectively. It's one thing to love people with inside the walls. It's a whole nother level to love them outside the walls.
100%. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd want to share?
Nope. I'm just thankful for this community and how they rise to the occasion in times of need.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We are switching gears a little bit now. We'll learn about the nonprofit Engage Your Destiny when we come back.
At Chapels, we pride ourselves on offering a wide variety of the freshest fruits and vegetables, handpicked just for you. We have a wide selection of the freshest, highest quality meats that will leave your taste buds craving more. Our friendly staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. We believe in treating every customer like family because at Chapels, your family is our family. We've been locally owned and operated for over 60 years. You can visit any of our Chapels locations in Dixon, White Bluff, McEwen, and Centerville.
At Implant and General Dentistry, we're proud to offer dental care you can trust. Our team, led by Dr. Andrew Flips, is dedicated to serving our community with the highest quality of care. We offer comprehensive dental exams, cleanings, whitening, and more. With our compassionate and experienced team, you'll be able to smile with confidence. Come experience the difference for yourself. Call us today to schedule an appointment or visit our website to learn more.
Sherry's Hope is dedicated to sharing the hope of Christ, protecting the health of our community, and supporting those who are fighting cancer. You can be a champion of hope this season. When you give monthly to Sherry's Hope, you help meet the needs of families in our community as they are battling cancer. Your monthly gift of $10 or more gives hope all year. Together, we can make a difference.
This morning on Mornings on Main Street, we are going to highlight a nonprofit based out of Montgomery County. It is Engage Your Destiny. This nonprofit has helped more than 3,000 soldiers and families. And to tell us more about it this morning, we have Sylvester Jenkins III to talk to us about this nonprofit. First off, thanks so much.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie, for having me, man. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today.
It is my pleasure because what an incredible work that this nonprofit is doing. Can you dive in a little bit more for us?
So Engage Your Destiny was started by our CEO and founder, Ben Peterson. He had a vision of eradicating or mitigating something that has been plaguing our military formations across the globe, and that's suicide. And what we realized is that since the pandemic, that there has been a 25% increase in soldier suicide. So in the midst of that, what we learned was that a lot of us are not taught how to process our emotions. We taught geometry, how to add and subtract, read, and all these other things, but we're not taught how to process our emotions. Not only that, but a lot of us who have spiritual foundations or don't know anything about the power of the spiritual foundations, he found himself in a position of understanding that emotional intelligence and spiritual readiness were the two key factors in order to make soldiers combat ready and also prepared for day-to-day life situations. So since then, we've been able to go out and teach soldiers about emotional intelligence, spiritual readiness, in order to help them to be just ready for whatever they encounter in life. And what we noticed was that soldiers are 7 times less likely to contemplate suicide whenever they have a spiritual foundation.
So, and I want to backtrack a little bit because shame on me on my introduction, veteran Sylvester Jenkins III, because you served a couple decades in the military.
Yeah, absolutely. I served 21 years in the military. I'm a retired Army First Sergeant, 5 combat tours, 4 to Iraq and 1 to Afghanistan.
So you know firsthand what it's like to have that spiritual foundation, what those men and women are going through.
Absolutely.
You speak from experience.
Absolutely. It's all experience, wisdom, and knowledge. I try to relate to them on a basis where they can totally understand, because I've been in the trenches. I've been in the wilderness. I know how it is to be separated from your family for a long period of time, them not being able to understand and know what you're going through and experience. And it's just hard. Yeah. It's hard. The day-to-day life of a soldier is very demanding. And to deal with all this, and then also whatever you come into the military with, because we all come in with a level of baggage. And so when we deal with that, it just find ourselves in a position of how do we process that? And a lot of soldiers don't know.
Before we get to the training, Ben started this, you were mentioning, 8 years ago in 2015.
Correct.
What had him start this at that time? Is he former military, Harry?
He's former military too. He spent 8 years in the military. And we both went down the similar path, coming back from the deployment, experienced that level of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And during the time frame, we both had a level of suicide ideation. We both was on the platform of almost taking our lives. And so when we had got to that point, he found himself in a position of where he was able to dive deeper into his spiritual faith, but then also discover who he was and wanted to give back in order to make sure everybody else knew the same.
How does that training work for the soldiers that you're working with? Who are you working with exactly?
So we're working with the UMTs, the unit ministry team, mostly the chaplains on Fort Campbell. We work with the division chaplain, who is Chaplain Fisher, and then all the brigade chaplains in order to just be a resource and a guide for them.
For the soldiers, what are you hearing from them once they go through this training and they do, get that spiritual foundation? What do you hear from them after they work through this?
So a lot of soldiers have came to us and told us that we either saved their lives, gave them a stronger sense of hope, that they've been able to relate with all the information shared. Some of the things was eye-opening, enlightening, that they never thought about, took the time to really evaluate, because the foundation of our training is pretty much that history is who we are and why we are the way we are. And a lot of times we don't peel back that onion to see that a lot of things we're experiencing was started before us. And once we get to that point where we peel back that onion and we see it, it's cause for us to have a level of self-awareness about us to be able to continue to move forward in our destiny.
Gosh, that is beautiful. And again, such great work. And I know you're working there at Fort Campbell. What about for the veterans out there who are now civilians? They're back into, just a role as a citizen in their community.
Yeah, so absolutely. So we got a text platform and email for a lot of those veterans who have transitioned out of the military, because we want to continue to be able to serve our brothers and sisters at armed that gave it all, went out there and fought. So we are sending out massive emails, ways that they can be able to stay in the fight, stay resilient, brilliant, and go out there and do great things. But then we also have a text platform that we utilize to stay in contact with these individuals.
Okay.
So we'll send out a motivational text, let them know some of the events that we have going on. So therefore, if they find themselves in a position needing somebody to talk to, needing a prayer request or whatever it might be, we want to let them know that we're there for them, that we still got their six.
That is beautiful. Is it just you and Ben working, or do you have a team?
So we have
more
a
than the
small
chaplains.
Team. Yeah, so we have a small team right now. It's 4 of us. We have our executive assistant, who is Alicia. We have Ben's wife, who mostly help along with the moderating and also the communication and marketing. And then just me and Ben as far as the ones out here really ain't doing it engaging.
I can only imagine your story and what you have to share. And I look forward to having you back to really dive into, your story. And I have to say, for those out there, if you would like to know more about veteran Sylvester Jenkins III, he has a book. And where can we find your book? This is From Combat to Comeback.
Yes. So you can find my book, From Combat to Comeback, on any platform, iTunes, what is that? Amazon, Audible, Kindle. It's on every major platform that you can find. It's a very intriguing book. It goes more deeper into my story and how I went from combat, not just in the battlefield, but in life in general. Because I think we all experience some level of combat, right? We go through situations in our relationships. We go with situations on the job. And that's a level of combat that causes a lot of stress. And it put us in positions of where our brains get overloaded, we get stressed out, we get flooded with emotions to the point that we just want a way out. And we just react in the wrong way instead of ways that we're able to combat the situation. So this book is beneficial to help you overcome any adversity that you might face.
Before we finish, I know that spiritual foundation is highly important to you.
Yes.
Is there a Bible verse that really sticks with you that helps you each and every day?
Man, I got a number of them, to be honest with you. But when it comes to me, I always say, count it all joy. Right, count it all joy, and then also Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. All things. So whatever I'm facing, whatever I'm dealing with, as long as I know who I'm representing, I can always go out here and overcome any battle that I face.
Thank you so much. Is there anything I haven't asked that you would want to share that we need to know about Engage Your Destiny, this nonprofit?
Yeah, so the email, my bad, the website, as a matter of fact. So the website is www.engageyourdestiny.org. So if you want any more information dealing with this organization, you can easily go on www.engageyourdestiny.org and get more information dealing with what we have going on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Veteran Sylvester Jenkins III, we appreciate it and can't wait to talk with you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have more coming up after this.
This Christmas, Give a Little Nashville needs your help to bring joy to children in need. We'll be hosting toy drives during the holiday season, so please donate toys for kids of all ages. On December 3rd, join us for our Cocktails with Santa red carpet event, where you can mingle with other supporters and enjoy festive drinks and food. Together, we can make a difference in our community this holiday season. Visit givealittle.nashville.com or find us on Facebook to learn more and register today. Welcome to Grin Doctors, your trusted pediatric dentistry and orthodontics practice. Achieve healthy, beautiful smiles with our expert care. At Grin Doctors, we are committed to your child's oral health and well-being. Trust Grin Doctors, your pediatric dental home for exceptional care. We go above and beyond to ensure the comfort and satisfaction of our young patients. Grin Doctors Kids Dental and Orthodontics is right down the street in Old Hickory, TN. Easy to get to and in your neighborhood.
You know that feeling you get when your team goes big? You can get that same feeling on Zen Sports. When you sign up for a Zen Sports account, you will receive up to a $1,000 no-danger first wager. That's right. When you place your first bet in Zen Sports, you can be reimbursed for the amount of your first bet up to a $1,000 maximum if the bet loses. No other sportsbook will offer you a premier sports betting experience with 24/7 customer support and faster withdrawals like Zen Sports. Zen Sports. Betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
Welcome back. From clothing to essential items to food, pet supplies, there has been so much love and support in the communities that make up Montgomery County. We leave you this morning with a look at some of those locations where donations have been dropped off. If you'll continue to follow Main Street Media, you'll find stories from other communities and their efforts happening right now. Have a good rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
Did you have a volleyball player?